up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. You already know I'm your host, Dustin, singer, actor, Lewis. Sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all the reality TV tea, but it's absolutely what you want and it's definitely what you need. And child, listen, what y'all need to do is comment, like, subscribe, share the family members, share with a friend so we can grow our community over here. Baby, share with the person next to you in the cubicle. If y'all at work, baby, pass the Singing the Tea channel around. And listen, hit that notification bell button so when I do drop new content, you will be the first to know. But let's go ahead and get to why we're here, baby. We're going to talk about Bellecollective first. Then I'm going to do an episode and review on the Married to Medicine season finale. But, you know, Bellecollective, you know, based in Jackson, Mississippi on the OWN network. Love this show. As a Mississippi native, I love it, child. And we're going to kind of talk about episode 4 a little bit and 5. So with episode 4, just to kind of get us caught up, because I did watch it, you know, I hate to see what Tambra was going through with her father. I hope everything is okay. We kind of get an update on this on episode 5, but I wanted to touch on that, and we want to talk about Kerripaul, right? So as the ladies are driving down from Jackson, you know, Marie and Leticia, they're in one car, and then Tambra, Selena, and Latrice were in the other car. And really, Kerri didn't really tell the ladies what they were coming for. Like, they knew they were coming for a meeting, but they didn't really know what was happening. They just thought it was going to be a little spa thing. I don't think that Latrice or Leticia realized that both of them were going to be in the same space. But the ladies are here. They make it to Kerripaul, and we just figure it out. So, Kerri has a life coach show up, right? And, baby, life coach gets there, baby. We get right to business, and these ladies are going at it. Here's the thing when it comes to Leticia and Latrice. Latrice, you can cuss down, baby. Latrice can cuss. Latrice is trying to act all prim and proper. Girl, please. You can cuss down to the ground, and I'm here for every ounce of it. But the biggest thing for them, and, like, I love when the life coach was just like, listen at y'all. If y'all were trying to be a collective, this ain't it. This is not what a collective represents. And that's not the premise of what y'all are trying to, like, give to the viewing audience. So we need to do a better job. So when it comes to them two, I appreciated the therapist saying, look, y'all need to have a one-on-one so that y'all can figure out what it is. Because y'all clearly still have love with each other, for each other. Like, y'all still have love for this friendship. So why not figure out what we can do to get back on the right accord, to get the collective back together? So it seems that both the ladies are open, but their biggest issue is going to be putting their differences aside and just moving on from the situations, because y'all clearly aren't going to agree. No one is going to say, like, oh, yes, I did this to you, or yes, I did. Both of you have wrongs in this situation, allegedly, and y'all just got to move on from it. That's what it's going to be. So that's kind of what Kerripaul, or just, if y'all wonder what Kerripaul is, baby, it's just Kerri had a life coach and therapist at her house, and she had the ladies over there get ready to rumble on her good white sofas. That's all that was. But it was a good time, and I was here for every ounce of it. So we pull up to Brick and Spoon, and we see Kerri and her husband, Matt. You know, he pulls up on her, and they having a conversation, right? And she's at the Mobile location. I was in Mobile this weekend. Shout out to my niece, Audrey, baby, because she did the doggone thing in her dance competition over there. My boo, my little tutu, she won improv for her age division. She won it, baby. Shout out to my girl. Give her her things. Loved it. She did such a good job. So I'm so happy that I got to see her. Okay, so they're talking about the future of the restaurant, right? And Kerri doesn't want to let the restaurant go, but she just doesn't know what to do. Like, the restaurant doesn't seem to be doing well. She doesn't want to let herself down and the employees down. But Kerri needs to figure out the best course of action for herself. Like, you gotta in this situation, unfortunately, you gotta save yourself. You know, ain't no need of you going down and taking every other thing down with you. It's time for you to get up out of it. So they're having that conversation, and she just kind of catches Matt up on the drama with the ladies. Now, Kerri, when you was over there trying to speak that Spanish, girl, you should have left that to some Sophia Vergara or somebody, baby. I don't know if you need to call her and see if you can get her to come down to Mobile and speak a little hola como está to you. But, girl, you didn't need her to do none of that. That was not for you. That is not your calling. Doing brunch meals at the Brick and Spoon is your calling, girl. But Spanish, that ain't it. You need to translate it real bad. But anyway, so she's filling him in on the girls' night, and she essentially feels like she's in a rock and a hard place, right? She doesn't know what's going on because they entered this group in a very interesting time frame because these ladies are at odds. But she's really friends with Leticia, But she likes Latrice, right? Like, so she feels like she's in an uncomfortable place. But the thing that I commend about Kerri is trying to get the collective back together. That's a big thing, even with her being new. And this is why I keep going back to Kerri is a great addition to this show because she is doing the work. She's doing the work. She's willing to get in here. And she's, baby, water off a duck's back. Like, she's just not letting the stuff sweat her like that. Like, her personal life stuff, she'll let. But other than that, the girl's great for the reality TV. You got to give it to her. I give her that. So, Matt is talking about he wants to essentially start his own company. He wants to break off from doing, the being an agent, all of that stuff on his own. I mean, he wants to do it on his own now. And I get it. He speaks about creating a legacy and doing those different things for his children, for his family, for his own life. And I think that those things are important. And I say go for it, brother. I say go for it. Give yourself a year to get yourself set up. And I think give yourself a year. Sky's the limit, I feel like, when it comes to something like that, for real. I think that you have a great job of creating a legacy. I think that it's going to be really big, and I think that you have the capacity to do it, so do it. I do get where Kerri's coming from, though, because she's in an interesting place with her business, right? She has one of her restaurants that is not doing well, so she's like, maybe this is not the right time, but I'm going to always ride for my man. So I get that. I understand where she's coming from, and I can understand it being a little nerve-wracking, but girl, I feel like y'all will be good. So don't stress about it too much. Y'all got this. Everything's gonna work out for the good. Now, after that scene, we see Latrice, right? So we see Latrice, and she is getting ready, baby. No, Latrice. We see Latrice and Cliff getting ready to go to the doctor's office. So she's at the doctor's office or whatever, and they are talking about her fibroids. Which, shout out to her for letting us in on that. Some people are real sensitive about when it comes to their medical issues. So she lets us in on her fibroids, and unfortunately, she's going to have surgery, just to kind of remove some of that. So we're going to pray for her, baby. We got to cover this whole cast. We got to cover the state of Mississippi, baby, because they got it going on over there. We got to get them together. But we're going to keep you lifted in prayer. Y'all put her name on the sick and shut-in list. Lay her name down at the altar. When y'all do altar call, touch a neighbor, tell them to pray for her. Do what you got to do. But we're going to keep our girl lifted up over there. So, Latrice is talking to Cliff about, the therapist saying essentially her and Leticia need to have a one-on-one. And Cliff over there, like, I think it's a good thing. I think that y'all are both two classy women. Now, Cliff, your wife, she gets down with the get down, but she classy base-ish. She classy a little bit. Like, she classy, but she look like she just drink her champagne out of a scotch glass. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't need no champagne flute. She said, baby, you can put the champagne in the red Solo cup. And there ain't nothing wrong with that because, baby, let me tell you something. It still drank the same. It still drank the same. It still takes the same. So, Latrice, I'm here with you, girl. If you want to go hang out, slap five, baby, go get us some liquor. I'm back drinking, y'all. I took a month off, but I'm back drinking. I think I'm going to take another break here soon. But, Latrice, girl, if you want to go grab some cocktails, girl, let's go. You real rich, so you going to have to pay. You got a man. I ain't got no man, and you rich, girl. So you got two incomes. I got one income, girl. You can pay, or Cliff can pay, or however y'all want to do it. But one of y'all can go ahead and pay for it. But y'all all right with me? Anyway, Cliff feels like it's a great idea for you and her to talk, and I agree. I think that y'all need to sit down and figure that thing out. Now, the next scene we get is with Leticia, child. Baby, they was rolling them scenes in and out, but we were getting scenes this episode. So we see Leticia getting ready for her photo shoot, and she looked beautiful. I love that green that she had on. She has her manager coming in, the investor coming in, her good friend coming in. Everybody's having a good time. Child, I look up, when we see Blueberry Pimp coming down the hallway, I said, is that Glenn? Baby, Glenn said, that's my wife. We still share each other's location, so I decided to pop up on her. Glenn, here's my issue with that. Glenn, it's a little problematic for you to just show up uninvited and not let anybody know that you coming. You could have came with some flowers. You could have came with a lot of stuff to just elevate a little bit, because it is a little problematic for you to just pop up on this lady, because it gives the impression that you don't trust her. She has done nothing for you to feel like you have to do that. And it gets worse, right? So you come here and it gets worse. So you can tell she's uncomfortable. So they essentially are like, oh, we got everything we need with the photo shoot. So the people over here, excuse me, y'all. So the people over here trying to speak to you, you know, and you talking to her, oh, so he your investor, why he gotta be here? Because they invited him. He's investing. He probably wants some input on like what the brand is going to look like. I mean, if I'm investing money, I would like to know. He's not a silent partner, clearly, because he's being seen. So I can understand him wanting to have some type of input with the whole situation. Now, Glenn, for me, where you really messed up is when you was like, well, as her husband, I need to be CC'd on emails. I need to be doing all these things. Glenn, you're doing too much. That's that lady business. Being her husband, and I learned this a lot just being a part of the baking industry. When it comes to a lot of things, just because you're married to somebody, that does not just automatically give you the right to a lot of things when it comes to somebody else. It just doesn't. Like, that's her business. That's her thing that she started. She has her manager. She has her team. You have to, it's more than just you. If she wants to share that information with you, cool, she can do that. But they don't have to include you on every detail that they have for the business that they're a part of. It's just not appropriate. It's not professional. So you handling it the way you did was real disrespectful in my opinion. But I do think her manager first did way too much. I think that he was trying to create a scene. I think that he wanted to try to get his moment, his little 5 minutes of fame, and he did too much, in my opinion. Baby, when he went over there, it really just escalated things. And they having to break y'all up. Letitia over here crying, baby, she in shambles. Her wig is about lifting because y'all got the lady hot because she having to wrestle y'all to keep y'all apart. Like, y'all did way too much to mess up this lady's beautiful moment. And that's the thing I didn't like. Y'all took away from what that lady is trying to do. Everything what y'all trying to do. Glenn, you went in there. You didn't go in there with positive intent because you're going in there to try to see what the investor had going on. And my thing is, if she want to date the investor, good. Good. Because I ain't even go down that rabbit hole with you. Because anyway. So, child, I think the people put y'all out their photo studio because them cameras and stuff is expensive. These people say these cameras, these lights, and these fixtures in here, baby, y'all got to take that riffraff up out of here. Y'all hit the parking lot. Hit the parking lot with that. We ain't got nothing y'all can tell out there. Y'all go out there and squabble in the gravel. Baby, they get out there. The red M&M, a.k.a. First, her manager, he out there, oh, I see him out there. Just saying little stuff out the way. Saying little stuff out the way to the man. Now, here's my thing, because when you call a man sexual chocolate, you talking about some, yeah, Glenn, you ain't never had a man stand up to you. And when Glenn had charged you, see, you couldn't run because you too big. And let me tell you something, I'm a big man too, but I'm quick on my feet, baby. One thing about me, I hit a 1-2 in a minute. And I can say this because I'm big. You were too big. Because you ain't a big that can like get, you don't look like you a big girl that can get down with the get down. You not about that life, Miss First. You are red M&M. You don't got it. You do not have, you have the I, but you are 100% missing the T. You are the O. You don't got it to be trying to get in the ring with somebody like that. Glenn was going to tear you every which way except loose in the people parking lot. You know you should have just kept your mouth closed. And the reason, you probably thought you were looking like tough because you was standing there. No, you couldn't move. You were standing there because you ain't have no other option. Pete and Charlie wasn't going to get you nowhere fast, player. You wasn't going to get nowhere. You should have put the MCM bag in your car. And you should have put your dukes up, buddy, because he was going to wear you out. And you know what? He'd have been well within his right because you overstayed your welcome as her manager. You, as her manager, you are there to manage her. You are not there to comment on her marriage. You are not there to comment on anything that she got going on. If you had an issue with what he was saying, you take it to her to be like, hey, listen, me and you working together, I'm your manager. Do you want to include him on this? I will say it was a little awkward. That's how you handle that professionally. But you handled it unprofessional. And I'm be real, if you was my manager, you'll be fired, girl. One, because if something really go down here, you can't move swift enough to help me. That's one. Two, you out there arguing with my people. You don't argue with my people. You manage. Now, I'm not saying Glenn was right, because Glenn definitely went down there to get it started. But you should have kept your mouth closed. That it had nothing to do with you, Miss Manager. And you remember that red M&M. All right. Now, all y'all was just doing the most. This lady out here in Chevy, baby, the people don't even think she can drive. Because this lady is so toe up. behind the red M&M and blueberry pep out there by Teresa. About to make some type of just chocolate covered blueberries out here in the parking lot. It was too much. It was really too much. But Letitia, I slick blame you because this is boundaries, girl. This is boundaries. It is boundaries. You need to set boundaries up with Glenn. You definitely need to do that. And you 100% need to set boundaries with you and first. I don't know. You need to tell First Lady, please sit down. You sit down on the first pew. But I got this. I got the Mike Ike. That's what you need to tell him. He might be a box of Mike and Ike's, but he don't need to be doing all that with you. Now we're gonna move on because I done gave that man enough. So we see Big Money Marie. She is at one of her service locations. She's opening up a new one. With shout out to her, and then she invites our girl Selena, baby. Now Selena, I'm gonna give you a pass because I don't think it was no workers and the building wasn't open. But Selena, next time, I'm going to need you in something else. I was like, what Selena got on? And then when Selena had hit that corner, I said, ooh, Selena got on her a snakeskin bodysuit. Selena, I don't know who you thought was in the building. But Selena, that wasn't the outfit for that. I don't know. And like I said, it wasn't done. So we were just hanging out. But just in case, baby, Martin Luther King or somebody could have been dancing through the hallways. You don't even know. You should have had yourself a little bit more. You should have had on something different. I liked it, but I didn't like it for that, you know. But I like Selena, though. We ain't gonna give Selena too much. That's my girl. But one thing we're gonna say about Marie. Marie is a boss. You gotta give it to her. The girl is a boss. I love me some dog on Marie. And, you know, they are discussing the Kerripaul. And I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't care for Marie's take on this. Like, they was like, oh, Kerri, who are you to do this? Or you need to stay out of the situation. You are inserting yourself into the situation. What she's trying to do is she's trying to be a friend that is trying to bridge the gap between two friends. That's what she's doing. So I think that she's doing a great job with trying to bridge the gap, trying to bring the collective back together. And Marie, you honestly should have been the person to do it. You should have been the person to bridge that gap. But I think that you are trying to stay out of it, and I kind of get it. But Marie, I get what you're trying to stay out of it, but don't get mad that somebody else is trying to fix the situation. You can't have it both ways. So either you want the situation to be fixed or you don't. And in that moment, it kind of comes off like you a little jealous that that Kerri is the one that's trying to mend things. You can't have it both ways, Marie. You can't have it both ways. So, you know, through that conversation, Marie was asking Selena about her marriage because she's looking to get married, right? And Selena, I don't think Marie was coming from a bad place with her experiences that she's gone through. And I think that sometimes, you know, when you go through certain experiences, you can sometimes highlight the negatives. But I think that she was highlighting some of those situations that she's been through to prevent you from going through a lot of them. So I think when she was saying, like, hey, you know, as a marriage, y'all probably want to be in the same space. You don't want him to still have his space. You still have your space because it makes it too easy for y'all to just retreat back to wherever. You don't want him to still have that bachelor pad. But I love when Selena was like, no, we plan on renting out both spaces and then us getting a space together, which is great. Get that extra income. So I think that that's great. But I don't think that Marie was coming from a negative place. And I don't think Selena really took it that way. I think she was just like, I feel like Marie's just projecting a little bit, which she was, but I think that it was in good spirits for her to do that, in my opinion. All right. So, we see Latrice, you know, she's visiting Selena at her jewelry store. I don't know if that was a pop-up shop or if that's just her actual like brick and mortar for the store. I don't know. But shout out to Selena for having her jewelry line. And, you know, they're just catching up on things. You know, Selena's asking Latrice about if she's talked to Tambra. And she was like, yes, you know, I reached out to her. You know, she's just been at the hospital with her dad the whole time. So praying for them. I hope everything is okay with Tambra. Y'all think this is going to be Tambra last season? Y'all think this is going to be Tambra last season? I kind of do. I think it's going to be Tambra's last season. I would say the past 2 seasons for sure, she hasn't really given us anything. And don't get me wrong, what she's going through right now, I understand her not being away. But yeah, Tambra's just really never here. So yeah, I mean, and once again, this situation, I understand her not being there, but before that, Tamra she's just never really around a lot. And we don't get a lot of like Tambra scenes with just her. Like everybody else we get scenes, but with Tambra it's just like we rarely get stuff from her, maybe 1 or 2 a season. So I wish we just got more of Tambra because she seems to come from a prominent family in Jackson. I just wish we just saw more of like her history, and I wish that we saw more of her. Like she on the radio station, I just wish we saw more of like Tambra's life and like Tambra putting together things more so than like the other ladies. But it is what it is. So, I'm gonna skip past that because I don't want to make it too sad. So we head back over to Kerri, right? So Kerri is meeting with her business partner Brittany, and they're at the Mobile location, and it's time for them to basically come to a agreement or a settlement to figure out what they want to do with the business. And Brittany just basically just like, hey girl, it's time. Me and you both, we can't run this business because we need somebody else to come in here and be able to do things that we can't because we are already doing other things. We need to sell this. And Kerri gets emotional because she doesn't want to let the people down. She doesn't want to let the workers down. But girl, you have to know and understand that you've done a phenomenal job. You have went into that space and you've created a better environment. You've created a better energy for that space. So you've done what you needed to do for the space. Now it's time for somebody else to take that torch and just take it to the next level. So you've done everything that you need to do because you took it from where it was and elevated it. Girl, pass it on to somebody else. It's time for you to sell it. Time for you to sell it. Don't consider it a loss. Think of it as a new beginning. It's time for you to sell it because you don't want everything else to crumble from this one location. Because you saying that you having to take your own money from your influence and things to help fund this, yeah, baby, it's time to cut your losses. It's time for you to cut your losses on that. So I think that her and Brittany are making the right decision when it comes to basically being done with that location and heading on to something else. Now, child, we finally get a sit down between Latrice and Leticia. We finally get a sit down. They're meeting on mutual ground. And I will say this, overall, I think that the sit down was great. I think the ladies did a phenomenal job. I think that they came in there, honestly, with good intentions. I think both of them went to that situation with good intentions. Just them highlighting and talk about things that, talking about seizures and all of those different things and strokes. I think it kind of put things into perspective for them to be like, listen, we got to put our differences aside because life is short. Life is short, and it's just not important to sit up here and be bickering about things that just aren't that important. So I think that they did a great job having a conversation. One of the things I really want to give them kudos for is like, hey, when Latrice was like, what's one thing, and she's like, I'm going to do the same. What's one thing that you want me to never say, just let it go. We are done with it here, and then we can move forward from that thing, and I'll do the same. And Leticia was like, hey, girl, the whole me trying to contact your employees, please let that go. Like, that is not, it didn't happen. That's not what happened. Please, can we move on from this? She agrees, and Latrice is like, hey, for me, it's going to be the whole Amanda situation. Like, I didn't do the situation like you think you did. Can we move on from this? And both of them agreed to do that. And it was really, really nice to see them put their differences aside. And then they start catching up on life, right? Like, Latrice is catching up on her health scares that she's had. And, Leticia is catching her up on her, starting her show. And, the issue that she had with Glenn. And I think that Latrice gave Leticia some great advice with that. Like, girl, I understand that that's your business partner and he is your business partner when it comes to the business. But when it comes to your husband, he shouldn't be going back and forth with your man. He shouldn't be doing that. So I think that she gave her great advice on how to handle that. I think that these ladies do have a good friendship, and I can see them becoming back close like they were. So I'm really, really excited to see them become back close, and I'm excited them to put together an event with them two being the heads of it for the rest of the ladies. It's going to be nice for them to do so. So that's really, really what I'm excited for. I can't wait to see it, and baby, that's going to be the end of this review. So if you are new here, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with a family member, share with a friend, so we can grow our community over here. And until next time, I'll see y'all later. Have a good one, everybody.